It's very important to not put your identity in other places and in other people or things, because when things go wrong, you will collapse. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about something very importante. I don't know why I just said that. Something very important. We're going to be talking about the difference between confidence and ego, and why it is very important to have one of them and not so good to have the other. And knowing the difference between one and the other, because sometimes we can get a little bit confused, and in reality, we're just having a big ego when we really shouldn't. On to the conversation. Confidence versus ego and how to know the difference. I have some notes on my computer. Okay, now we can start. A lot of people may think they're confident. In reality, like, it's just their ego wearing a mask, if that makes sense. Let's get into it. Ego and confidence can look very similar because they both are bold, loud, unspoken. Like, when you walk into a room, like, you have like this presence, and like people can feel it, like, wow, she's really confident, right? You know, it's like this, you're like almost making a statement by your presence, correct? Yeah, okay. And it can be very powerful. However, they both come from very different places, okay? Because confidence is humility, okay? Like, you're not just like self-centered, like, you are confident in who you are. However, it is not just being self-centered, while ego is very self-centered. Ego is insecure and just wants validation, okay? Confidence is, you know your self-worth, you know what you deserve, and you love yourself. And also, because you love yourself, you're able to love others as well. You're able to love more. You're able to give more. My earring just fell out. Confidence is secure and doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, because you know who you are, while ego is insecure and in need of validation. That's why a lot of the times people may be like so confident, right? Like, they're posting themselves this and that and that. They're gorgeous, yes, baddie. However, they're not truly actually confident with themselves. They're in seek and in need of validation to feel confident. Now, that is very toxic, because if you place your identity in the validation of other people's and the way they perceive you, you're going to be disappointed every single time. Because yes, people can definitely think you're gorgeous, and yes, that can definitely boost your confidence. However, you should not depend on the opinions and perceptions of others to boost your confidence, because people are going to say some nasty things. What's going to happen when someone says some nasty things about you? Your confidence is going to flunk, which is why it's so important that you have to love yourself. You need to know your self-worth and not try and receive that from other people. Ego needs attention, okay? Ego is very much loud in the sense that they constantly are seeking validation from others, which we already talked about. While confidence is peaceful, because you're able to say, I know who I am, even when no one is watching me, even when I am just on my own. I love myself. I know what I deserve. I know who I am. And to get to that point of confidence as well means even taking time for yourself. Like, you can't just gain confidence from what you are always getting from other people. You need to spend time with yourself. You need to fall in love with your soul and build yourself, like, build your soul, love yourself, because also the more you love yourself, the more you're actually able to love other people. And I'm going to get into that in a second. But someone who is egotistical will speak just to feel powerful. A lot of the times when you have a really big ego, you may say things that honestly are just to make yourself look like a bigger person. Like, you're trying to show off. You're trying to make it seem like, oh my gosh, like, I'm this such a good person. Like, you're just trying to show off. And there's no really like intention behind it rather than confidence, because when you're a confident person, you have intention behind it. You speak with intention, and that intention comes again when you know the value that you can bring to the table. You know who you are. It is very important that you take a deep dive in yourself. You fully understand, okay, what are the values that I take to heart? What are the morals that I take to the heart? Really dig deep and like protect your soul as well. I think it is very, very important to protect your soul, because a confident person doesn't just allow anything to come into their life either. They know what they can provide. They know what they bring. They're secure in themselves. They don't just accept whatever is just handed out to them. while someone who has a really big ego might even take things that aren't even for them just for them to feel powerful, which is why ego needs external validation. Likes, comments, approval, that feeds the ego, while confidence is built internally through self-respect, discipline, and values. And that's why it's very important to not put your identity in other places and in other people or things, because when things go wrong, you will collapse. And when you're a confident person, you don't just collapse to criticism. You're able to like digest it. You're able to like take it and be like, okay. And you're also able to filter it. That's why someone who is confident would accept feedback rather than collapse from it. You're able to digest things without just getting defensive. When you're an egotistical person, I feel like you can get very, very defensive because you are trying to protect your ego. You are trying to protect that part of you because you might be insecure, you might be struggling with your self-image, etc. And being defensive ends up just causing a bigger scene. And I'm not saying that you should not stand up for yourself, because definitely stand up for yourself. If people are obviously straight up talking bad about you and criticizing you, like, stand up for yourself. I'm not saying that at all. Defend yourself. However, in a lot of circumstances where it is even positive feedback, people might get very defensive because they cannot take that. They cannot take even constructive criticism because they are so afraid of that hurting their ego. And being an egotistical person is just not cute, because you also don't take feedback from others, as I was like saying earlier. So it is just so important to really understand, like, what is the root cause of this, okay? Is it because of someone who hurts you? Is it because of where you grew up? What is the root cause of why you feel the need to want such approval from a specific person, from other people? You should be the person to give yourself that, first of all. You need to love yourself so much that when somebody else rejects you, when somebody else denies you, it is not just going to affect you and slap you in the face, because you know who you are. I also think it's important, like, yes, take feedback, and maybe there are areas in your life that you need to work on. No one's going to be perfect. I truly do believe people are placed in our lives to also allow us to realize the parts, the flaws in us, so that we can work on that for our future relationship, career, etc. It is a work in progress. We are all human beings. Like, drop the ego. Be humble. Like, genuinely be humble. Show that you care. Show that you love, that you're giving. I feel like when you're soft-hearted and not just like this person that's like always just like on the go and like defensive and like, you know what I mean? Like, be a soft-hearted person. Like, of course, keep your reserves. But again, someone who has developed their confidence, somebody who knows their value, somebody who holds that close to them, someone who also has developed a relationship with the Lord, they know to place their identity with the Lord and not place their identity in other people and things to feel wanted, to feel appreciated. Also, another really big thing about ego and confidence is that someone who's egotistical is always focusing on what everyone else is doing, okay? Stop focusing on what everyone else is doing. Focus on your own journey, okay? That comes with being confident. When you're confident, you focus on your journey, you focus on your path, because you are growing as a human being and you are there with the path along others. You and your friends, you and your family, y'all are both growing in this journey together. Y'all are there to uplift each other, and someone who's egotistical could even bring someone down to make themselves feel better. It is because they're insecure. It is because they want to seek validation from others. Do not focus on the journey of others, but focus on your own. If you're constantly comparing your life and your journey and comparing it to other people, of course you might feel bad because you're going to think, they're so far ahead and I'm still so far behind. That is not the mindset that is going to keep you going. How do you think seeing and comparing yourself to other people is going to help you grow? How do you think that's going to help you achieve your goals? It's not. It's really not. Focus on the steps that you have in front of you, and the more you walk along that, again, the more your confidence will grow, because you're not living your life for other people. You're not living your life showing off to other people the kind of life that you're living. Okay, really think about this. When I was younger, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't necessarily insecure, but I definitely could say like I was in some aspects. I always wanted like that big friend group, and I would always see like people posting like these big friend groups, and I could say that I was insecure in the fact that I felt like I did not have those big friend groups. I wanted to like show that off. I wanted to post that on my Instagram, like all these big friend groups. When I got that, when I was in those big friend groups, first of all, they were all just low-key fake friends to the max. And okay, I posted that. Okay, so what? You know what I mean? Like, no one really actually cares. And I was just trying to seem and show off to the world, oh my gosh, like, look at all my friends. Like, I'm living this amazing life. That is not being confident. That is literally me trying to seek approval from the world to seem like I'm a cool, popular person. And now I love my life. I love the life that I live. Of course I post my life. Of course I post my friends and stuff, but I am not doing it with the intentions of showing off to other people. I'm not doing it for the approval of other people. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because the intention is that I enjoy posting. I enjoy being with my friends, and I enjoy sharing those memories online. And I don't even focus on that all the time too. I really learned to not be on my phone all the time when I'm around my friends, because I truly enjoy and love being in their presence. And when you're someone who is constantly seeking that validation, you're constantly wanting that approval from others. And it almost paints the wrong image, because at the end of the day, it's like you're painting yourself as this person who has all these friends, who is this great big person, etc. But deep down, you're actually sinking. Deep down, you're actually trying to fill a void that is not going to be filled by the approval of others. And also, being confident means that you can stand firm by your word. You're not going to be led on by the words of others. You're not just going to be led on by what people try and persuade you to do and pressure you to do, because you're going to stand firm in your word. And it's very, very, very important to stand firm in your word. Be confident also in the fact of like letting go of people that don't serve you in your life anymore. Be confident in your decisions. Do not be just like indecisive and like constantly just like, that's how I was, okay? I was that person. I was like the most indecisive person known to man. It was really bad. I'm not gonna, it's really bad. And I really just like have to like sit with myself and be like, okay, Sophia, like what do you want? Like, why, what's going on? Okay. And it's like, I didn't fully have that resolved in myself. Like, I really needed to take that time to like, think about, okay, myself, think about, okay, why am I acting? Why am I so indecisive? Why can I not be confident in my decisions? And I'm just being led on by like what everyone is telling me. Remember, you can take advice from others, but you cannot let that influence your every decision. The decisions that you make have to be because you are deciding that. How do you want to live your life? How do you want to take step into your next decisions? People can say as much stuff, but at the end of the day, it's your life. They're still going on with their journey. If you make decisions influenced by what everyone else around you is telling you, you're going to end up in a different path than what you should have been on. Like, definitely take advice and like be open to listening to constructive criticism. Be open to listen to what others have to say, but do not make decisions based off of what everyone is telling you, because people are going to have very, very different opinions. So it's like, okay, what are you doing? Like, you're one person this day with these decisions, and then you're another person this day. That's why you have to be confident in yourself, be intentional behind your decisions, and know why you're deciding to make the decision, that it aligns with your morals, it aligns with your values and the woman or man that you're trying to become. Just remember that confidence is rooted, it's grounded, it's humble, while ego is shaky, loud, and always trying to prove something. So next time you feel like you're trying to prove to yourself to someone, you're trying to show off to an extent where it's kind of getting a little bit too much, really think to yourself, like, just come back to yourself and be like, okay, why am I doing this? Like, what is the root cause? And again, it is so normal to have these things as well, because we're human. Like, we go through that. We have to be able to experience that to know the difference, okay? And so that we can see that in other people. And guys, the minute that you choose growth over image, peace over validation, and alignment over attention is where true confidence begins. It's not about what other people are saying about you anymore. It's not about what you hear and what you see and about you trying to catch up to everyone else. It's not about that anymore. It's about yourself, your journey with God, your identity in God, and the love that you can give to others, because a confident person is not afraid to speak up. A confident person is not afraid to give love, to show that, because they know what they can bring. They know their values, they know their intentions. And again, being confident usually has more intention behind it, while being egotistical is to prove something that's just not worth proving at this point. That was my topic for today, and at the end of the day, God loves you guys so much. I love you guys, and life is just such a journey, you know? Life is a beautiful journey. We just have to make sure that we are constantly renewing our minds, that we are not feeding our minds the wrong stuff, because that can really bring us down different paths that are just not for us anymore. Be rooted in yourself, okay? Be rooted in God, in yourself, and learn to take gratitude in everything, guys. I will always say that. Take gratitude in everything. All right. That's all I have for today. Guys, I should probably make like an eating video in my car one day. I really want to just like be in my car, have a little chit chat, and just like have a mukbang. I don't know. I've always wanted to make a mukbang. And guys, I have a camera. Like, isn't she so cute? Like, look. Isn't she literally adorable? Like, I want to use this camera so bad, but I don't have like the correct port, like USB port or whatever, to like connect to my computer. So I need to find that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Comment down below if you guys want any different kinds of videos. I will love to answer your guys' questions and just talk. Like, I love this. This is what this is for. It is a growth journey. We're in this together. Live life. Don't take life too seriously. Life is literally all about trying to make it the best that we can. Guys, life is too short. Life is too short to be focusing on first world problems. Obviously, it's valid because I've been there, but just take gratitude in what you have. Take gratitude in the people that are in your life and what's around you, and forgive yourself, forgive others, learn to forgive. That gives you so much freedom, and just spread love. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.